This is the true escape from the city. A man wants to give his wife a warm home. Spend $100 to pick up 2 abandoned shipping containers. Do it yourself and spend 3 years. Turn it into a dream mansion worth millions. Not only raising families to achieve meat freedom, solving the electricity problem in the field, bring your family to a successful life away from the hustle and bustle. Early in the morning, Norman drove to his grandfather's farm. Although it has been abandoned for a long time because no one takes care of it, but it's a family business that was used for nothing. The couple don't have much of an opinion about it either. What's more, the scenery here is very good. It's completely surrounded by trees. There is a lake ahead, a proper feng shui treasure, and it comes with it. A small bone grove is the best excuse for Norman to raise livestock. It's not just a stable source of protein for 2. In the future, farming land and so on can also come in handy. And before we start working on the 2 containers, as a young person in the new era, you can't go anywhere without electricity. Solar energy is the solution to field electricity. The best way, just buy the number of solar panels. I know the 2 of them are playing a big game, and a corner of the barn was used as a power distribution shed. In this way, it will be connected to the room in the future, can be used directly, considering the weight of the tin box itself. If you want to live in it, don't worry, foundation planning cannot be taken lightly. There are more than 20 foundation pits more than 1 meter deep, and in order to prevent the foundation from going offline, the bottom has to be hardened with concrete. Only then can the mold be put on, pouring with steel bars. However, be careful to insert the steel plate before drying. It is convenient to fix the container necks, but it's obvious. These 2 boxes are older than Norman. Rust on top is everywhere. You need an angle grinder. After sanding it clean, reapply anti-corrosion paint. Avoid the possibility of secondary rust. After that, with the assistance of the crane, transfer it to the poured base column. The bottom is then welded to the steel plate above. After making sure there is no possibility of displacement, the 2 began to attack the inside of the box. Since it needs a drastic transformation, you can't have the slightest softness when you start. In order to make the space more spacious, there is no need to retain the iron sheet on the inside. Then, according to the structure of the bottom of the container, cut the 2 ends of the square wood into suitable grooves. If you card it in, you can complete the connection of the 2 cabinets. This wave of operation directly increased the indoor area by more than 10 square meters. Put it in town, more than 10 flat, at least have to struggle for several years. But the stability of the overall structure is lost. Steel pipes should be welded in the middle for support, and the vacant part of the roof. It is also necessary to fix the appropriate frame by size, due to the consideration of daylighting. Promise, man has reserved a spot for the skylight above. After installing it on top of the container, don't pinch your hands and feet when you work. The halls also need to be covered with European pine boards, and on both sides are the bolts left for the installation gate. You also need to fix the door frame with square wood in advance. Thanks to the accuracy of the original measurement, there is a certain height difference between the frames on both sides of the roof. After laying the boat on it, you can get a roof with its own upper, and you can see that the building is taking shape. Then it can be sealed with composite plates. This material not only has good moisture resistance, and it also has a good sound insulation effect. Noise-producing shipping containers are perfect for easy, busy from day to evening, until the sun sets completely. The 2 of them fix the last wall panel. Finish so. The next day you can frame it with planks. Install the surrounding eaves. As for the next window opening, it's much easier. Benefit from the previous fixed frame. Doors and windows have been reserved. Now as long as you don't panic and don't understand, it was the easiest part of the job. So here's the benefit of shipping containers. Soon they came to sealing the roof, after covering it with plywood. But to be truly watertight, we need to put a tarp on the roof first. Then the mountain can be set with wooden boards, to leave room for the next entry of color steel tiles. White is the most attractive color. It can also reflect all colors of light, greatly improve the common problem of container cold in winter and hot in summer. But there are so many drawbacks to building a house like this that it is a headache, due to the uneven texture of the iron surface. As a result, the seams cannot be completely covered with wooden boards. Not only, the inside should be filled with foam glue little by little. The outside should also be coated with superglue for sealing. But this is just a way to treat the symptoms, not the root cause. To solve the problem at its source, you also need to fix a row of passers on it, after trimming the excess to flush, and hemming the eaves. That way the rain won't have a chance to look down on the wall. Then Norman smelled a nail gun and flew. The fixation of the composite plate was completed in no time. But for the roof to achieve the desired effect, the gaps between the plates should be pasted with tape. At the same time, it also saves the trouble of laying a waterproof part. Fortunately, these are all done projects. Whether it is the fixing of the mountain, or the coverage of color steel tiles, now both of them are able to do it with ease, even after a busy day, and have the leisure to play police and bandit games with your dog. And as for the roof on the other side, although the previous steps are the same operation, but in order to increase the usable area as much as possible, they're going to add a viewing balcony here. Fortunately, the scope of planning is not too large. 4 columns are enough to support him. In the middle, a crossbar is added to increase stability. The passers on both sides can be connected homeologically, so that the porch becomes integrated with the house. After hemming the surroundings with wooden boards, the next thing to do is just copy and paste. So building a house is a pretty boring job. The same steps are carried out day after day, but for the comfort of being able to live, both of them work late every day. After all, this will be their home for the rest of their lives. All hard work becomes the foundation for a better life. Seeing that the new home has already mentioned the golden top, Installing doors and windows is a daily task. Fortunately, they are all measured sizes. Let Norman install it without the slightest delay, with the basic sealing of the outdoor, considering that the appearance of the container is too simple, in order to make the whole look more layered. And Norman chose to cover the middle with planks, and that includes the exposed part of the roof. This also avoids corrosion of the plates inside. Then follow the wife's preference. To paint the surface this elegant gray, not only can it prevent the wood from being recast, and gray can also make the whole look more atmospheric, but too claustrophobic indoors. And I desperately need Norman to bring him a ray of light. Cut out the position of the doors and windows. We all know that foreigners have never been famous. What open double without opening in order, east and west? Norman doesn't care. Just cut according to the hospital, and then you weld the frame out with steel pipe. Fix it to the opening as a border. It is convenient for the next window installation. Just haven't waited for the two to move into the new house. There are already bird doves occupying the magpie's nest under the eaves, in order to pack and check in as soon as possible. The two also had to speed up the movements of their hands. The box has some small and fresh forgiveness colors. It has always been an unbearable pain in Norman's heart. But before changing the color, you also need to sand the rusted part of the surface clean. Brush on anti-corrosion paint to avoid secondary rust. Then the box can be ray-colored. The wife proposes to paint it gray-blue, although I don't know what color it is. As long as it's not green, Norman is very supportive, despite being everywhere at the end of the day. But watching the containers change day by day, the two still couldn't help but be full of joy. With the windows ordered also installed in place, this place is finally starting to feel like home. As for the wooden floor that comes with the container, the two plan to preserve their original style. Just brush with a layer of transparent epoxy branches. This thick pulp feeling, it directly adds a century-old historical atmosphere to the ground. Well known, the tin box comes with its own oven properties. In order to increase the indoor thermal insulation performance, Norman fastened a circle of frames around the wall. Enough space for post-fill spreads to flow out. Take this opportunity. Reinforce the middle aisle as well. Here we go. So you can focus on compartmentalizing the interior. Except for wet and dry separate toilets and kitchens, the love nest of the two must be arranged in the best location. The remaining space is also used as a living room. And as one of the necessary conditions for survival in the wild, having a reliable source of water is the most crucial. Although there is a lake not far from home, but this place has long been a summer retreat for animals. There is a risk of seeing too much milk at any time by drinking it directly, instead of installing a filtration system. Let's just build a collection device. Norman bought 3 water tanks in town. Each one has a capacity of nearly 3,000 gallons. If it can be filled with rainwater, 3 is enough for them to last a long time. After ramming with yaks to transport it to the designated location, the 3 water tanks are also piped together and install the alloy panels left over from the eaves. A little modification is a good diversion groove. You just need to pay attention when installing. Each chute must be tilted at an angle, so that the rainwater can flow smoothly through the guide hole. Okay, no problem. You can install the drain pipe and connect it to the pipes of the water tank. After completion, Norman also immediately took a bucket of river water test. Middle filter. It will filter out larger impurities first. Then it flows through the water pipe all the way to the water tank. But this is just a preliminary filter. It's clearly not drinkable. So Norman had to build a water house. In order to prevent the foundation from going offline, you need to pour a solid base with steel bars first. Wait for the concrete to dry. You can use the 4-sided frame as the main body of the water outlet prevention. With experience in building large houses, this job is not easy for the two of them. Wait for the wife to do a good job of embalming the wooden board. You can hand it over to Norman to fix it on the wall in turn. Finally, just connect the water pump and install the filter. Later, they can have running water. But to be able to take a hot bath in the wild, that's going to take a lot of work from Norman. I don't know where this second-hand water pump came from. It's pretty good. Norman plans to use it, building a solar water heater, in order to better absorb the heat of the sun god. You also need to paint the surface in colorful black. Then pour the base of the water tank according to the size. After drying, it is made according to the shape. Get the right nails. Then it can be reversed on the fixing. Color steel tile of light, so that you can maximize your focus. The light of the sun. You can put the tank in when you're done. As for the connection of hot and cold water, this kit is also unambiguous at all. The main thing is an all-round. Since the solar panels have been installed before, now just connect the line indoors. They can smoothly enter the electrical age. But for the safety of both of them, you have to insert a grounding wire into the surface of the earth. In this way, there will be no worries about using electricity in the future. However, considering that the forest has many wild friends, solar panels also often suffer from their patronage. It is particularly important to install guardrails for this purpose. Norman had already installed all the columns. Now you just put a layer of barbed wire from the outside. Then the top is reinforced with square wood. How big is grandfather's farm? But it still took him a day to go round. After installing the gate the next day, even if the zero-yuan purchase enthusiasts come, I can't take him. However, as my wife's belly gets bigger by the day, Norman has a favorite wife maniac. It's natural to say something, due to the height of the doorway being too anti-human. To make it safer to travel up and down in the future, he's going to build an entry staircase at the door. And since electrifying the new home, let him work overtime openly at night. Install the stair bracket for the platform the next day. You can seal it with wooden boards. And the wife's side is also very smooth. Successfully gave birth to a little princess for Norman. Since the world of 2 was upgraded to a family of 3, keep Norman motivated to work every day. Although the wife can only be reduced to a member of the atmosphere team now, but that didn't stop him from cheering for his husband at all. And Norman's feelings as a father are also easy to express. The corners of the mouth that could not be suppressed were about to crack to the root of the ears. Happiness is also materialized at this moment, but as the only labor force in the family. Now Norman's workload can be imagined. The power supply has been connected before running. Now he just needs to put the switch on, and a 18-watt gazillion bulb at the top. It is easy to solve the indoor lighting problem. In his spare time, he also goes to feed the nanny on the farm. As the saying goes, raising troops for 1,000 days uses troops for a while. If you don't want to envy your own physical body, you have to show some sincerity in the future. Although many people aspire to life in the jungle, but Tadashi Ueno is definitely not one of them. Don't say what happens when the mascot meets. Just the haunted Ladio. I knew it wouldn't work. Therefore, it is urgent to install septic tanks. Just pay attention. Water pipes must strictly abide by Newton's laws, so you can do more with less while you're gliding. With the toilet also installed in place. A full 100 cubic meters of volume. Enough for 2 people for 3 or 5 years. But sometimes too many people is also a kind of happy trouble. In order to provide children with a better growth environment, he plans to build on the foundation of the side porch. Continue to expand the area of the children's room. The overall steps are similar to before. After using the frame as the general structure, then take the composite plate for ceiling. After this period of exercise, now Norman has started from Kaniao, successfully transformed into an experienced Kaniao. It is said that sun exposure helps your baby's physical development. Norman just pops out a whole wall of windows, and the door is also replanked. He made it into a terrace for drinking tea and heating, but due to the early arrival of the rainy season, always makes the ground extremely slippery. For safety reasons, we're going to add the patio. The guardrail is done, and then brush the platform with wood wax oil. This will ensure that the floor is not eroded by rain. Install the doors and windows by the way. 5 full windows, enough to fill the entire space with light. Then Norman couldn't take a break, and they started building walls. But in order to maintain a uniform style, the wife suggested painting the surface white again. Sure enough, the aesthetic aspect has to be left to women. It's much brighter with white paint, and you can see it with a thermometer. The difference before and after painting is quite big. That being the case, why don't you just change them all to light colors? It can make the whole appear more coordinated. It can also alleviate the common diseases of cold winter and hot summer in containers. But that's not enough. In order to live more comfortably in the future, Norman installs 2 air conditioners at once. After all, there are so many solar panels here, not to mention 3 generations. In the 30s, he didn't have to pay a penny for electricity. Wait until the pipelines of the air conditioner are also sorted out. In his spare time, the 2 will also take their children out to play, experience the exotic atmosphere of the local town. And it just so happens that the next day is Halloween. A family of 3 gather together to make jack-o'-lanterns, after waiting for night to fall. Although there is no hustle and bustle in the big city, but it looks more warm against the light. The sun shines on the earth, in the cold air, revealed a little coolness. It's time to get ready for how to survive the cold winter. Since the frame has been fixed around before, the most convenient way is to spray styrofoam in the mountains. The gap can be filled after expansion and setting. This material can not only be used for the insulation of rooms, for containers with poor privacy, it can also have a certain sound insulation effect. When the styrofoam is completely dry, need to cut off the excess part of the surface. After keeping the foam flush with the frame, then it can be sealed with drywall. This material is not only economical, and it is also quite convenient to install. As the saying goes, men and women are not tired of working together. Now the wife can also help, coupled with the strong addition of the small padded jacket. Although only a member of the atmosphere team, but it can bring great motivation to the work of the 2. And with the wall completely sealed, the wife also came to the labor period smoothly. Yes, you heard that right. After a year, he will give birth again. So Norman is alone again. Fortunately, the remaining steps are relatively simple. Even if it's just him, it can be done well. Fill in the gaps between the plates. You can start putty on the walls. Simple but stylish white. It can not only show the atmosphere of the container, it also makes the interior look more spacious. And the brushing process is also quite decompression. When the powder wall work is done, to cater to the atmosphere, he also installed 2 ambient lights on top. The 3 no friends who come in the future can still jump wild. What? But in order to highlight the essence of the container indoors, so he is going to cut off the previous one. Take advantage of the iron sheet. Just weld a circle of borders around, and polish the thatch. It can be installed in the bedroom as a door. And the sliding switch method. It doesn't take up too much space indoors, although it is still a family, but it doesn't affect their early check-in at all. Just put a mattress in the living room. You don't have to squeeze into a cramped RV anymore. Seeing that the wife is about to come out, considering the future electricity consumption of a family of 4, and Norman's going to install solar panels. Upgrade it. He changed the top to a movable steel pipe, and an electric lifter is installed at the bottom. After installing the solar panels, the bracket can be adjusted arbitrarily according to the orientation of the sun. This adds panels' duration of received light, so as to maximize the conversion effect of electrical energy. Let them never have electricity anxiety again. And the wife lived up to expectations. Successfully add another $1 to this little family. In order to save money on milk powder for 2 children, he only buys cabinets online to make finished products, although it still needs Norman to assemble it by hand. But for him who has been practicing for 2.5 years, these jobs are just sprinkling water. As for the ground, it's made of this wood grain-like floor. The material of polyethylene is not only light and wear-resistant, and dark brown lines. It looks perfect with the whole thing. Home appliances also began to arrive one after another the next day. Install a whole fan of granite countertops. Now it's getting more and more villa-like. However, this is still far from meeting the standard of occupancy, considering the excessive moisture in the bathroom. Give the wall. The walls and floors are covered with waterproof tiles, with the installation of showers and other appliances. Then hang the privacy full curtain. This bathroom is no worse than a 5-star hotel. Color. But as a ghost boy in the new era, you can't go anywhere without Wi-Fi. But Norman wasn't panicking. After all, as long as you install a new Love Network receiver, it will be very convenient to swipe a wilderness video or something in the future. It's just that there are often spicy strips nearby. For the safety of the family, the bottom also needs to be sealed with wooden boards. After handing over the anti-corrosive device to the wife, this will prevent snakes and rats from settling down. Finally, just move in some commonly used furniture. After 3 years, Norman finally fulfilled his promise. In the jungle away from the hustle and bustle, bring your family to live a life without competition.